Okay, so let's keep it going. Lesson 27. The law of synthesis, merging of past, light, and shadow into wholeness. Let's begin. When the soul evolves past polarity, beyond the good and evil, light and dark, right and wrong, it enters the realms of synthesis. This is not a merging of opposites to erase difference, but a sacred integration where all parts finally remember they were never separate from the whole. The ancient meaning of synthesis. In the early epochs, the elders of the flame taught that all creation was born from a single note that divided itself to explore the infinite range of sound. Each being, planet, and realm was a variation of that first tone, a frequency exploring the possibilities of existence. The law of synthesis was their reminder. The melody cannot be lost, only transformed. Thus, when shadow rises, it is not evil. No. It is an aspect of the source that has forgotten its song. The path of synthesis calls us not to battle the shadow, but to hum it back into tune. Now, these are the three forces of synthesis. Each synthesis occurs through the trinity of one, thesis, the current truth, what you believe or hold as light. Two, antithesis, the opposing force, what challenges the truth, appearing as dark or disruptive. And three, synthesis, the higher harmony, the expanded state that emerges when both are honored as teachers. This law operates within you daily. Every conflict, every contradiction is an invitation to ascend through balance rather than opposition. Now, what the law teaches: light cannot evolve without shadow, otherwise it becomes blind. Shadow cannot survive without light, or it dissolves into the void. And together, they generate motion, expansion, and eventual transcendence. Those walking the path of return must remember integration is liberation. You cannot ascend while rejecting any aspect of your being. Okay? Now, this is to practice the practice of synthesis. One, mirror meditation. Sit before a mirror in low light. Look deeply into your eyes. Whisper the parts of yourself you judge. The too much, the not enough, and the still healing. Then with a deep breath say, "You are my teacher. I honor you." Together we rise into harmony. Number two, shadow alchemy breath. Inhale through the nose, receive your light essence. Exhale through the mouth, release your shadow stories. On the third breath, imagine both merging into gold white light that fills your body. And number three, sacred journal reflection. Write, what inner battle has been seeking peace? What would happen if both sides of this conflict were right in their own way? And what wisdom is born when I no longer resist either side? The cosmic implication. As more beings embody this synthesis individually, the planetary grid shifts. Nations divided by ideology, families fractured by pain, and lineages separated by faith begin to feel the pulse of reunion. This is how the earth becomes a planetary temple, not by one force defeating another, but by the collective choosing to harmonize. The elder said, when the flame learns its own reflection, heaven and earth shall no longer be two, but one breath under the same heart. Okay? And that is the end of lesson 27, which is the law of synthesis, merging of path, light, and shadow into wholeness. As they say, having heaven on earth, this is what they mean. Nothing is separate. Everything is all combined into one. And that is the whole thing about it. Not removing part of yourself, but combining everything. A lot of these lessons pretty much tells you to combine everything into one sacred wholeness, which is you. which is the beautiful essence of you. And nothing outside of you can change that. And this is where these teachers are coming to get you, to remind you of that. That to be one with where you're at, you got to understand that you are a part of where you're trying to get to. Okay? So the next lesson after this will be lesson 28. The guardians of the flame gates, keepers of the cosmic thresholds. Okay? See you on the next assignment.